Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So, second video in one day. How lucky are you? It's only because I'm so behind on all the things I've got to show you and talk about. And I particularly wanted to talk about Lisa Eldridge quickly because for those of you who are interested, her pop-up shop in London at Covent Garden is open at the moment, but only until, I'm going to say New Year, but it might be just before Christmas. I'll check that and put it in the description box below. I should have checked before I started filming. So I wanted to mention about that for those of you who are in London and might be interested in going. I wanted to talk about the foundation because I mentioned in a video I did a couple of weeks ago that I had, along with the lipsticks that I'd purchased, got the foundation sample cards that seemed to be a decent colour match for me, but I was very, very unimpressed with how the foundation looked when I applied it, and specifically it really seemed to get in my pores and magnify them. And I tried it with a couple of different underpinnings, as it were, just with moisturiser and with primer, and with both of them I got a very poor result, and I was really surprised because I'm a big fan of Lisa Eldridge's work in general, her makeup products in particular, and this was extremely disappointing. So on Monday this week, I met up with the lovely Lara Martin, who has a YouTube video. She has a lot of Russian subscribers and makes a lot of videos in Russian, but she also makes quite a few videos, particularly the ones of product reviews in English, and loves luxury, high-end makeup, and is like me, shall we say, we're not in the first flush of youth, so we have maturer skin and maturer tastes. So if you're interested, go along to her channel. Anyway, we had a little meet up and chat and wander in Covent Garden, and went into the pop-up shop. Now, the first thing to say is I think it's been done really, really nicely. It's right next door to the back entrance to the Royal Opera House, if you're familiar with the layout there, so overlooking the Market Square. And it's a nice, spacious little shop. She's got the velvet lips as sort of cushions mounted in the window, so it's very, very obvious. Inside, she's got some really nice displays. She's got some of her own vintage makeup collector's items for you to look at, all the lipsticks, some of her beautiful rings, which I really love. I can't kind of justify spending that amount of money at the moment, but a really good display if you were interested in looking at them, and some earrings as well. She has some other kind of curated items like makeup brushes. I bought a makeup brush and nail varnish, not by her but by another brand that she likes. Anyway, I accosted one of the really nice assistants helping, and said what my problem with the foundation had been, and she immediately summoned one of their makeup artists, and he was so nice. His name was Rafa. He spent a lot of time very tactfully telling me what was wrong with my skin, and cleansing it, and prepping it, and then applying the foundation, which of course applied flawlessly. But having said that, he literally spent about, well, Lara would know, I reckon a good 20 minutes, if not half an hour, very gently, on multiple occasions, effectively cleansing my skin. And his bottom line was that I wasn't exfoliating very efficiently. And I still can't quite work out why the result with Lisa's product was worse than other products, because you would think that it would apply to all high-end foundation. But the only conclusion we came to was that her foundations are quite highly pigmented. So if your skin isn't in great condition, and it's effectively catching in the pores or on flaky skin or whatever, then it's going to show up more than a less pigmented product. You shouldn't read into that this is a heavy coverage foundation, because it's not, but the pigment is good. Anyway, the end result was very good, so I ended up buying, I had colour matched correctly from the card when we redid it, number 4 for me, which is one of the paler shades, beautifully packaged. Oh dear, it's got stuck. It's a slightly odd bottle, I think, this kind of very tactile, almost like a pebble. It's lovely to feel, but you couldn't stand it on your dressing table, which is, you'd have to kind of lay it down. And the top's a bit clunky, but it's a nice pump action, which I very much approve of. Of course, Lisa would do that for hygiene purposes. I find the lid a bit difficult to fit on. So that's what the foundation in the bottle looks like, and I have had a go myself, and I'm wearing it today, and yeah, no problems with the pores. So it did make me reflect that obviously my skincare routine is not all it should be at the moment, and I kind of knew that things have gone a bit haywire in a number of ways during lockdown and beyond. And my exfoliation in my regime was really just by means of a lotion. So I was applying an AHA lotion as part of my night treatment a couple of times a week if I was lucky. I was actually using the Sunday Riley Good Genes. Whereas what he recommended was a foaming glycolic acid cleanser, which I didn't have when I considered the massive array of products that I have. He recommended Mario Badescu's. Since I've been looking online, I can see Dermalogica do one, which I'm kind of inclined to get. But all that was available in Boots that was nearby that day were 2 Pixie products, which I bought. They're not too expensive. So I bought the Glow Mud Cleanser, which is a glycolic acid and aloe vera wash. And I haven't tried that one yet. And Clarity Cleanser, which I think is a new one in the Pixie range. Silicic acid and probiotic. So I think I kind of misread that for glycolic. Now, I've used that this morning, and I have to say it's slightly irritated my skin. Not majorly, but I'm just looking a little bit red. So I don't think I'm going to carry on with that. I will try the Glow Mud Cleanser, and I think I probably will invest in the Dermalogica one. The other point that he made that had never occurred to me was that I should use it in the morning. I do a double cleanse in the evening, and then in the morning I just use something like Bioderma to wipe off my face. But he made the point that in fact our skin, particularly if we've used treatments overnight, can throw up quite a bit of debris, and so we should I should use a glycolic foaming cleanser in the morning before applying makeup. We also had a lot of debate about alcohol-based sprays. I thought my beloved Chanel spray had alcohol. In fact, I've checked the ingredients and it doesn't. So I'm very relieved, because he seemed to think that ought to be thrown if it had alcohol. So quite a discussion about the old skincare. I have newly resolved to up my regime, particularly on the exfoliation. It's easy to let these things slip, and they do make a difference, because ultimately makeup only looks as good as the skin underneath it, to some extent at least. But I did want to set the record straight on poor old Lisa Eldridge's, not that she needs my seal of approval. She has many seals of approval, but the foundation actually on properly prepped skin is very nice indeed. And I couldn't fault the service that I received, certainly in the pop-up shop. They couldn't have been nicer to a more mature woman with poorly conditioned skin, shall we say. And so I would thoroughly recommend a visit, even if you just want to look around. There was absolutely no hard sell, no pressure at all. Even after he'd spent all that time with me, he left me, you know, to get what I wanted if I wanted. So that was the other nice thing. If you just want to go in, have a look at Lisa's beautiful makeup collection and all the pretty things in the shop, that's absolutely fine. So I couldn't speak more highly of the experience of visiting the pop-up shop, only there during the Christmas season in Covent Garden. So until next time, bye for now.